So Wolves have gained a point tonight at Craven Cottage. It's finished Fulham 1, Wolves 1 in a very close game, but a game that Wolves possibly deserve to get a little bit more out of. First half, definitely Wolves were far the better team, but Fulham came out a little bit more in the second half and made life really difficult for Wolves. Quick look at the team that started off for Wolves tonight. Jose Sarr started in goal once again. Nelson Semedo, Craig Dawson, Max Kilman and Hugo Bueno across the back line. Mario Lemina, Neves and Nunes with Cunha, Jimenez and Sarabia. A couple of changes from obviously that defeat against Bournemouth last weekend. One of the most notable ones, probably Raul Jimenez coming in. I said it on our match preview a day or so ago. I felt like we needed a number 9, whether that be Diego Costa or Jimenez, to come in and start. I thought it would be Diego Costa, but I appreciate and gave, I'm happy to give Raul time. And I thought, for what it's worth, I thought he had an okay performance today. Obviously got the assist for the goal, which we'll talk about in a second. But first half, Wolves were really in control. Some of the best football we've seen for a number of weeks. Bringing the ball down, just controlling the game. And we made life so difficult for Fulham. Fulham just could not get a foothold on the game whatsoever and created very little opportunities. We created a couple of good chances. One fell for Sarabia a little bit earlier before his goal, but just didn't hit it quite cleanly enough. But the goal was really well worked. It actually started from Jimenez. It was played out wide, ball into the area and knocked back down by Jimenez. First time for Sarabia to hit across goal and into the back of the net. And it was a really well-worked goal and well-deserved, to be honest. Like I said, Wolves in control for the majority of that first half. Looked really comfortable. I watched it at home today, obviously, and the guys here on Sky Sports in the UK, full of praise for that first half Wolves performance. I knew in the second half it probably wasn't going to be as straightforward as that. You tend to see it, especially away from home. You'll start to sit a little bit deeper. You'll start to run the clock down a little bit, which we did see in early parts of the second half. I know I didn't really enjoy it. I made a few comments about Bournemouth doing it against us last week, but, we saw us doing that a little bit. For what it's worth, I thought João Palhinha, who obviously got booked in the first half, I thought, you know what? If he stays on, I think he played the full 90 in the end, and fair play to him, because I thought he was nailed on to be sent off with him being already on a booking. So fair play to him. But Fulham just started to get a little bit more of the ball in the second half, control the game. And yeah, we just didn't have the same sort of creativity and free-flowing football that we saw in the first half. It took a little bit of magic, to be honest, for Fulham to get back into the game, though. Manor Solomon is a player that I'd spoke about a little bit on the podcast, who comes up with a little bit of magic. But cuts it in inside onto his right foot. As soon as it left his foot, I could just tell it was going in. I said, it's in. And it was a great goal. Through the bodies, made it very difficult for Jose Sarr to see. And obviously goes into that far corner. And that's, to be fair, other than the Carlos Vinicius chance at the end, we've restricted Fulham to very little. And, I suppose that you give credit to possibly our midfield and defence for that we did restrict Fulham, a team, especially from set pieces, scored the most goals from set pieces this season. We dealt with those quite well. And it just took them that little bit of magic to find themselves level in the game tonight. Like I said earlier, Jose Sarr did make a couple of half decent stops. I thought that one by Carlos Vinicius right at the end of the game was a top quality save against that header there. But Wolves just didn't test Bernd Leno enough in the second half. I was pretty disappointed with the impact of the substitutions as well. Unfortunately, Cunha came off injured. Obviously, I really hope that that's not too serious. I thought in spells he moved the ball quite well and was a big part of some of our attacks. Adama came on. I really expected a little bit more from him, especially when you're leveling the game and try and get him on the last man a little bit more. Pedence I was disappointed by as well. I thought his performance last weekend against Bournemouth coming off the bench didn't I wasn't too pleased with, and today again I just didn't think the impact was enough from him. But you know, I suppose it's a point gained. I think I said before the match I would have taken a point. I think it's just a matter of how well we dominated in the first half. It's just a little bit annoying that, you know, we've been pegged back and we didn't really create enough opportunities. But you know what, we got an opportunity on Wednesday. I know it's a tough game against Liverpool, but we've shown them what we're capable of a couple of weeks ago. They looked fragile last week when I watched them in the Champions League, and I know they've obviously yet to play this weekend as well. But you know, things are looking good. We're scoring goals. We're looking a little bit better in front of goal. I think between now and then, just got to between now and the end of the season, just got to make sure we remain as a Premier League team. But we saw enough today, and I think we showed the Premier League enough today that shows we have got quality to be able to do that. But it's finished Fulham 1, Wolves 1. Difficult trip on the road for Hugo Bueno, Mario Lemina. Jose Sol made a couple of crucial saves, but Bueno and Lemina, I think for me, two of the key players today. Lemina's introduction and reintroducing him into the team was crucial today. I think without him, we would have possibly been overrun a little bit too much in that midfield today. But it's finished Fulham 1, Wolves 1. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you all very soon.